Okay, recording started. Where is the screen? It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, for the last training session, we want to explore manual gift entries, how to enter gifts, physical gifts and cards, pledges as well, and different currency like exchange from euro to USD, and yeah, and then how to generate financial PDFs. So last year's year-end tax and the monthly receipts as well. Also like a frequency receipt, you can pick the start and end days. And then yeah, labs sponsor, process and reports. And finally, reports and dashboards functionality overview, just with a couple of examples. And the final Q&A section. So I added to this document as well at the end the reports and dashboard trailhead to just documentation that Salesforce provides for reports and dashboards. It goes through some of the like noteworthy stuff. It has screenshots and all of that. So yeah, it's easy to digest and it's a good start to knowing what reports and dashboards are capable of and how to create some of the simple ones for them. Okay, then let's get started with the manual gift entries. Okay, so to go through it, you have to go to orders and you'll find new gifts. And we have a new version in the pipeline that has a couple of useful changes done. So yeah, from orders, you go to new gifts, you can find it here. We'll also add it to gift transaction or any other place. We can place this button basically everywhere or anywhere. So orders, new gifts, once you click on it, then you see the screen. So here you start by picking, is the donor a person or an organization? And that will change the donors you can find here. So there's no Raheem, but there should be an Atlas here. Maybe the name is different. Let me quickly go through this. September. Okay, usually here it should show you the organizations. Just none of that. Show organizations. If you pick individual, these are most of the people in the system. So I can look for a person by name or by his ID, like 222981. And I can find them by the ID. So let me pick one here, testing, and you will do this one. So automatically when I select him, all of the info that he has on his profile get put here. So first name, last name, phone number, mobile, city, all of that. And it's editable here. So if the donor calls me and he wants me to enter a gift manually for him, I can just pick him here by name or by his ID if he knows it. And then I can change, let's say his phone number. He calls me by a different number. So I'll just change it in here. The address, the street was wrong. So I put this one here. And next thing is you pick the child. And this will affect which products you can allocate to the child. So for US, it's going to use the US products. For Haiti, the Haiti products. For now, we have the US products set up, so we haven't set up the other ones. So it's big like this child, and same thing, like you can find the child by name or by ID. Like I can type USNY to find all of the children from New York, and I can pick any of them. And then once you scroll down, so here you pick the currency that the donor wants to pay with. So it could be USD, could be Euro, could be any of these. So here I picked euro. And then you go below, and this is the first product. So first product, do you want it to be a gift? Yeah, you'll see.
I noticed that there's an asterisk by the child. Is that is that gonna have to be automatic because we do get general donations that aren't designated to a child?
Mm. Then yeah, we can change this one then. So yeah, right now this is required. So you mean just general donation without the products?
Yes, the
Yes, we
general
have general
donations.
donations and we have other campaigns that we run throughout the year. They're not everything is just designated to children.
Mm. Got it.
So she's talking about this field, the child field, not necessarily required.
Yeah.
You may need to do maybe two forms in order if this field is required for a specific reason, for example, like sponsorship or something like that.
Mm.
Then you may need to try and change the order. Maybe check if it's a general gift first. If it's a general gift, then child's not going to be required or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Or maybe like if you don't pick the child, then you can only select general gifts.
Yeah. So for example, like the gift type, maybe we need to check what the gift type is first, then the rest of the information.
Although like if you pick a child, then you can add multiple products and they're all linked to the child. But yeah, it's something to think through. So you could do general gifts, you can do campaign gifts, not linked to the child.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, that's the thing we need to handle. Good notes. Let me add it. Child not required, not always required, and manual gift entry. This is so that you can enter general donations and campaign donations and stuff. Okay, got it. Okay, so in this case, like we're giving it to a child, so we pick the child, the donor, and then pick the currency, in this case, euro. And then you go below to the products, and here you pick, is it a gift? Is it a card or letter? And that changes the fees that you have. So for card letters, there's the occasion. For physical gifts, and no standard price book is found for, okay, standard gifts, we need to set up the euro amounts for it. There's some simple setup in the system. I can do it even after I finish this part. For USD, it automatically picks the gift, the physical gifts here. So if I go back to euro and let's enter a few gifts. So gifts and the dates that we received it. And here, like I can search for the products and it's only showing me the products that we have defined for US. So since I picked the child, it knows the country and it's smart like that to find only the products that we have in that country. So if I pick Thanksgiving dinner, like I think we need to change the sign in here. So food, 25, if I put USD food, is 30. Okay, so we need to change the sign that shows up in here to be euro when you pick euro. It's actually taken the amounts in euro and put it in here, and it's gonna log in it as euro. So you put for food, it's 25 euro. Change sign and then tree. Okay, and this is for now, it's required, but the new version we have in the pipeline, it has optional campaign to add to products. The designation is always required for any products. So in this case, it's food. Let's pick food. And then if you want to add another product or remove it, you click this trash bin icon. To remove it, you click add product to add a different product, and you can add more and more. So in here, it's another gift. And yeah, let's change the date to the 15th. And here, let's do like Thanksgiving. And you can also make this a recurring gift or just a one-time gift. So by default, it's one time. You can change this to recurring, and then a couple of new fields pop up. So when does it start? Which dates do we have the subscription on? So let's say the 20th. And is it a monthly, annual, quarterly, or biannually? And this is just an optional fees for you to keep track. When do I expect this gift to end? And you can just leave it alone without filling it up. Again, for this specific product, the campaign, which is going to be optional, and the designation. So see if we have any for Thanksgiving. Give me NYC web. I love to know about Thanksgiving. Let's just use this one. And then the motivation code. So motivation code applies to the whole, to everything you've entered. While for each gift, you can put the campaign and the designation for it. So motivation code here will apply to all of the gifts we entered. Let's do like food appeal, and you can click add motivation to add more, or click the trash bin to remove some. But you have to at least put one motivation code here. So it's not web, maybe there's a call center. So I added these two motivations to them. Volume must be September 11th or earlier. So this one should allow you to like, oh, I think it's taking it now, and it's gonna take it again that day. But yeah, I want to check this gift received date, why we can't do an future web. Okay, so once I fill everything up, so here there's two products, billion in euro, for Raheem regarding to this child. And yeah, I just at the end, I pick the payments method. So in the next updates we're gonna roll out, it has the ability to manually charge the customer from here with credit card, ACH, and from the website we can use Google and Apple Pay. So that one is soon to be done, and it's probably going to be ready by next week. For now, let me do here check. So you put the identifier. Like if you have something else different here picked, you don't get these fields. So if I'm paying by check, I can put the check reference and the check date. And once you're done and satisfied, then you just press next. And it will create everything in the backend and take you back to the same view you were on so that you can manually enter another gift. So the redirection can be changed as well to wherever you'd like. But right now, like it took me back to where I was. If I go to gift transactions and go find the donor or the child, I can find it as well. And it's in here and it's in paid. So in euro, the 25 for the food and 20 euro for Thanksgiving dinner. And so let me go to, let's say, Thanksgiving dinner. Okay, so this is yeah, payment regarding this child done by this donor. So let me close this. And it's actually linked to a recurring gift, so I can go there and see the actual record for it. But everything here is draft because like it's a check and it's in the future. And yeah, it's linked to the Thanksgiving dinner and to the campaign of general. And also if I go to the related, so the designation will be in here, Love and Hope Thanksgiving. The motivation codes that I've assigned are here as well. So they got linked to the records themselves, and they will be in the gift commitments as well. So if I go to the recurring gifts that he has, it's also got a link to the motivation codes and to the designation. So now, even though like I had the transaction here, but it's not paid. So an actual order for Thanksgiving dinner and for food haven't been added to the system yet. So if I want to add them to the system, I just go here, find the unpaid transactions and mark them as paid. So let me just show you here. So I'm in gifts in the caseload view, and I'm not gonna see the new gifts I've added until they are actually paid. So these are ones I was testing with before, running test. Let me see it. Try this. We have 4 right now here. After I mark the transaction is paid, a new record should show up in here. And you can also find it in here. So if you go to related, you can see everything related to this transaction, including the products themselves. So no products are linked to it yet. Nothing is yet in the system. And this is one I created before. Yeah, this is an old one. So yeah, up here, I'll go to the transaction itself, mark it as paid. And the amounts here, by the way, there's the automatic conversion here. I'll just come back to it right after marking this as paid to show you how it works. So to mark it as paid, you need to add the transaction completed date. When was the transaction actually done? So let's say it was done on the 11th today as well. And then save. Okay, so now it's paid. If I go to related, I can see there's a product here related to it, Thanksgiving dinner, 20 euro. And if I go back to the caseload view and press the refresh button, I should have a new record here showing for a new row here. Okay, and it will be this one. So Thanksgiving dinner and thank you card with it. And yeah, the amount for it is 20 euro, and we have the conversion here. So yeah, 20 euro, which is 23.41 USD. And to go through the conversion as well, so if it's done by Stripe in the US, then we get the actual amounts from Stripe and put it here. But if it's a manual entry, we have a service that we're using to find the daily exchange rates. So if I change this, let's say unpaid. And actually change the amounts here to, let's say $25, 25 euro. Then the amounts in USD will change to reflect that. And also, like if I pick a date in the past where this transaction was completed, it will use that day's exchange rate. So it was 29.26. But on the first of this month, the exchange rate was actually comes up to 29.24. So we have the exchange amount in here. We also have it in the recurring gifts and sponsorships. So let me see where it is. Should be somewhere in here. Okay, yeah, from Euro to USD. And we also have it in the order as well. So if I go to the orders related to the recurring gifts or to the transaction itself, and I go to the actual order that has a thank you card and all. So I can also see the order amount in USD from here. So this is to enter gifts, and I want to show you how to enter cards and letters now. If you have any questions, yeah, Carola.
I do, because this is what most of my offices do every day. So when we do manual entries, right? We call them EFTs at the moment. So we'll see if we can keep the language or if we need to change that. So from what I understood right
What
now,
do you call it now? Just for me to know.
sorry, I'm just probably feeding some of the things you just said back to you. I'll just need to make sure I get it. So you go to orders, and then you click on new.
Yeah, on new gifts.
Right, and then we had all the different items that you walked us through. So that is one sponsor, so I can add multiple gifts, right? You showed us that.
Yes.
That's lovely. We like that. And then we said we're gonna look at the one field that it's not just depending on a child ID, but that we can also make general donations, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. The child, you said we can search by name and by number. So for the general donation, then we should also be able to search either by description or by the code, right? Like, for example, if we want to make a general donation, there's a designation code that's 10,000. So then would I be able to look for both, if that's possible?
Right now, like you can look for the, let me see. So we have different products and you can look through them by the ID or the name, and the general donation will also like have a products for it to have the amounts. So yeah, that should be possible too.
Okay. And then just so I get the language right where you are right now, right? We have the campaign and we have the designation. And that might be maybe a question for Keegan as well then. So our designation number at the moment, like if I have, sorry, I'm just gonna make up the one that I know for the, if I have 80,000, that is US sponsorship, for example. Again, like I would be able to search for both, like the number and the description.
Yeah, this is one where we need to add.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we'll add this so you'll be able to search by as well.
Also, Brahim, sorry, I don't know if you mentioned it already, but the gift product and the designation is most of the time exactly the same. It shouldn't be separated. Does that make sense?
Most of the time is the same as the product itself, right?
Yeah. So, for example, Thanksgiving dinner it has its own designation, so you wouldn't need to put in both. It would be redundant, essentially.
Yeah, good job, Rob.
Yeah, like that's the case, then maybe you can just pick the products and we automatically
As long, yeah. So in this case, yes. But when it comes to where we need to select a campaign where it doesn't involve a child or something like that, then how would it work?
got you. If you select a campaign that doesn't yeah. Like for that, we can allow here to select one of the products linked to the campaign.
Yeah, that makes sense too.
Yeah, so anything that is paid by the website will have its own product, just so we can have the pricing in USD and Euro and all of the other currencies set up. So
Okay.
everything you can pick from here. We just need to filter it. Yeah,
Great.
where you
Good. And then at the very bottom, kind of almost before you click like going out of it, you pick the payment kind of like you pick check or credit card, something like that.
yes.
We would have an option that would be like EFT or something like that. So once you hit that and you're finished, then it actually shows in the accounts right away it's paid.
Yeah, let me show you how that will look like, just to get your feedback as well. So we have this in development. It's close to being done, but I have some screenshots I took with the dev team.
Oh, there we go.
But yes, you'll be able to pick from their credit card or EFT or ACH. And once you do that, so we couldn't get it into the same screen. So once you do that and click next, you'll be taken to this like this screen. So this is the actual checkout with all of the information, like what is the exact amount, the currency, and here you have this widget. Yes, you'll see.
Hi. I may be jumping the gun, but I know that Carola just mentioned the different types of methods of payment, but are we going to be able to have the capability of having different batches where we have like a group of donations for multiple donors in one batch or one spot to kind of go back to?
I think this is related to another feature, which is to import donations. So there'll be a widget where you can go to it, download the template, and then fill it out with who the donor is, the child, the batch, the amount, all of that, and then upload it into the system. But like those will be like historical records. It's not ones to add to the system. You'll see you're talking about new things you want to process, you want to charge the customer, right?
Not necessarily. So, we get multiple like checks entered into the system at once. And so we have to limit how many per batch in case we have to like go back and like look at them. So we kind of like have different a certain amount of checks per batch so we can go back for reference. And it's not necessarily what you mentioned. It's more like I'm not sure exactly how to like it's more like sectioning the amount of donations we handle for a set amount of donors.
Yeah, got it. It's like a tag to set the batch. So we already have a field there for the batch, and the new widget will be capable of that. There's a widget to automatically import the records. So you'll go to it, select I want to add donations, press the button to download the template, and then fill it out with the information you want to enter, like donor ID, child ID if there is, transaction details, and the batch number to keep that all under the same batch. So let me quickly show you that field. I think we have it here. Yeah, so we have here batch and sequence. I think we added these because they were in DASCO. So basically, whenever you import from that and you put the batch and sequence for all of the rows, you add it into Salesforce, then it's gonna enter them with those batch and sequences. And then we can have either a list to show you those or a report to show you them grouped in batches and sequences.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, Carol. Like I just stopped you midway.
I'm trying to wrap my mind around this. Okay, so if I understand you correctly, right? So when I would do a manual entry, I don't really have, like, we're not using the batch system. Like, I would just pretty much say this donor, this gift, blah, 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 EFT, it's going to be in the system. It's going to show as paid. It's good. But then, like, when your Elise was talking about, if I have more information at once, I
Mhm.
could pretty much create that upload list, which is probably a simple Excel list or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Where we
Yes.
just put your categories and then I could upload however much information, but that information then would still be grouped in, yeah, what we would call a batch then. Kind of.
Yes. Yeah. And that feature is very close to being done. It's not yet in the full sandbox, but it could be by next week. And we can also add it to the manual gift entries if you'd like. It shouldn't be that much work if
Okay.
you need it for individual entries to group them into batches as well.
No, I was more thinking, Keegan, maybe that's a question for you, right? So if somebody works with like a bank statement, and we have this upload option, then it would almost be easier for them to put the information in an Excel sheet and we do a mass upload.
Yes,
Maybe,
that's correct.
right? Like if I'm thinking, for
Um,
example, of Switzerland, where I know they have, you know, several dates with hundreds of entries,
Yes.
then we could actually do that and teach them how to use the
Yeah.
upload.
So, Brahim, that's what we discussed. Remember, we said we'll have
Yes.
a template that they can download, and then they put in all that information, upload that kind of stuff. Yeah. That's
Yeah,
true.
yeah, exactly.
So we got options, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Elise, do you have any other questions about batches? Sorry for jumping in. I'm not sure if I rendered Elise speechless now.
Yeah. I think silence means yes.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Let me show you the other part. So once you select check there, or like one of the other options that doesn't include charging a customer now, it's going to go through. If you pick credit card or ACH and EFT2, once we add those, then you click next on that screen and it will take you to this page. So this page has a summary of the checkout that you want to do. So the amount, the currency, and the source of it is coming from the manual gifts entry. And here, like, you have the options to pay by card. It's going to be ACH2. And you can, like, in the same page, you can see all of the info you're going to need. So like this payment has 2 recurring gifts for kid toys and has 1 transaction here for a kid toy. So the total amount is going to be 60. The person name, email, all of the information for the donor. So it's basically like a summary place where you can see. And the payment is going to be made through Stripe. So you go ahead, you press pay. So you pick the credit card that you want to use that the donor has on file, you press pay. And the payment is going to be processed. Once it's done, it's going to move to success. And then once you refresh the page, you're going to see that the transactions are active, so recurring gifts are active, and the transaction has been paid. So this is the update that we have on store. We just didn't want to push it now because of the sensitive timing of it, just to do the demo with the working version we have now. But the new updates will include like payments with credit card, ACH, Google and Apple Pay from the website. Let me reshare my screen. Okay, and any other questions before? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, me again.
Yeah, sure.
Last question, or at least at the moment. Can we, because the other thing that we used to have with the batches, right? We had like specific codes for people and stuff like that. And with the username. So it was always easy for us to see, okay, it's like that person made that batch with that currency. So when we do the entries this way now, we're still gonna be able to see who made them, right? In the, you showed us
Yes.
something with the locks, or I don't know what it was called, but I've seen it somewhere. where there was a history.
Yeah, you can see who made them by going to the monitoring audit view, and also by going to each either transaction or order and all of that stuff. Like you can go to any page in Salesforce, it will have details below about who created it, who modified it, and the last time. And we can have Salesforce track up to 20 fields in here, so we can also track the batch, who changed it and when, the sequence, who changed it and when, for example.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, so going back to orders, let's add a couple of cards. So if I want to manually like add a card for a child, I'll just go to new gift. And pick who the donor is. So same thing we did before. So it got the updated info like phone number and street because they were stored in the donor. So I'm gonna pick a child from here. And pick the currency. So for cars, like it should automatically, you should probably make it automatically default USD or something because they're all like $0 things. So let's see, child intro or Christmas. Weird, like it should show in here. Maybe I misconfigured something. Okay, let me see if I can figure this out quick. Everything is stored as products, even the cards, so we can add them to orders. And if I go here to products, I could find like child intro card product. Oh, this was my issue. So the products family for child intro card should be card letter.
Sorry, Ibrahim, just for your interest, if we're adding a card in this case, it would be like a non-monetary gift. So that would be what the product would be essentially is non-monetary gift. So that under non-monetary gift would be cards, physical gifts, all those kind of things.
Got
Yeah, and so forth. Yeah.
Got you. You group them into non-monetary gifts, cards and physical cards.
Yeah.
Let me add note of that and add groupments here as well, so we can have two, one for the like subtype of it, and one for the monetary or not. And type to product, monetary or no. And let me pick this, so it actually generates an order. So we have like a ton of useful flags here, like for the cards, should they generate an order? Products, yes, but for example, if it's a given to just to a campaign or to a program, it doesn't have an order link to it, so we don't generate an order for it. For these, we should. Cards, letters. So yeah, they're defined for USD, Euro, so I should be able to find them now. And now if I go back here, and yeah, start over. Let's do this one instead. And And child. Let's pick Dennis. And currency. And here, see, okay, I can find the other one. And so I can find thank you card. I also enable child intro card. Maybe the price for, let me pick USD here. Okay, I can find it now. So child intro card or thank you card. So you can look it up by code or look it up by the actual full name of it. And in here, we should stop people from adding an amount in here because it's all non-monetary. So block from adding amount. What cards there is. And then you define the occasion for it. So thank you card, like birthday. And then add another product. So I think we have here that I'm not sure, like, should we change or no, is you have the ability to add cards, letters, and also gifts all in the same screen, but then behind the system, it splits them apart. But I think like your process is you add like the cards, it's alone from when a donor calls you and you actually add gifts for him. So in here, like how we have it right now, you can also add gifts and cards all in the same place. So let's do campaign there and this designation here. So designations only for gifts. It doesn't show the designation here for products. And even the designation, it should get it from the products. Yeah, so you won't need this. Motivation. So Christmas card. Thank you card. Is there something? Child intro card. It should have. Or let's do a sponsorship card. Just for distance sake, I'll just pick that one. And just one of these. And payment method, we could leave it unknown since there's no payments made here. Okay, so now we have thank you card, CHI, and food. So it will be these two. So they've been added in there, and we can also find them if we go to the case load view. Should be in thank you card. Yeah, this is the one, Dennis Smith Jr. The birthday is there, so if I click on it, this is the thank you card that was added. It would just add it right now, 1 minute ago. And I can click on the order to see the actual order and the state of it and change it from here, as well as from the case load view. I can change it from there. So here, thank you card. And the other one is child intro card. So I can also find it in the orders, or I can go to the case load view and check the child intro cards tab. And in here, I can see the card that was added. So just 1 minute ago as well. So I can go directly to see the card, or I can click here to see the actual order with the status of it. So this is the card. Clicking on order, I can go up one level and see the actual order and what it has. Link to the child in the country US, and link to the donor himself. Okay. Next one is special gifts. It's follows like the same pattern. Any questions about the cards and all of this? Yeah, Carlin. Okay.
Hi, so just a
Hi.
question about the
Mhm.
card. Sometimes the cards, like if it's a birthday card and there's questions with it, where would we be able to like add birthday cards with questions? Is there a comment section? How would that be done?
Birthday card request. Okay, so you want to add a card that is a birthday, like a birthday card. So we just need to add here products for birthday, and then you can pick it here from the cards that are available.
No, so what I mean is like when we physically get the card, we read through it, see what the sponsor says, and if there are questions, we would add comments, and it would be like the comment would be birthday card, and then the comment added is which question, so that the captain who's taking the card out will know, hey, the kid needs to answer these questions in the card.
So the sound is cutting off a bit for me, but let me tell you like what I heard. So, and the cards, it's same types as the cards we have, but then you add a note for the side captains to know, like just like instructions or notes for it. Is that the use case?
Yes,
Mm,
so that
mhm.
the captain knows specifically what's in the card and what the kid needs to say thank you for or answer the question.
Got it. Yeah, we can add that then. Like we don't have it here yet, but it's not difficult to add. So like right now, if you put a card, there's this drop-down menu that also has birthday, but it's limited to the values here. And we can add more here, but if you want like some free type text here to put instructions
Yes,
for
the free
captain.
text
Oh.
text, because we'll always need the occasion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then add it as the free type text
Mm-hmm.
with extra, yeah.
Okay, so add instructions to site captions here and show it in the case load manager for them to view.
Yes, and on the thank you card.
And on the thank you card too. And in all of the cards, just have here a free type text so you can add to any of the cards.
Yes, so our thank you cards do have a comment section. So that's where the free type text would need to go.
Mm-hmm. You mean the actual PDF has a comment section, or just within the system they should be able
No,
to see?
so on the downloaded a thank you card that we print
Oh, okay.
should
Got
be
it.
there.
Okay, let me add that comment for thank you card, go into the generated PDF. Is it the same for the other types of cards that have a PDF, like Christmas cards, summer updates cards?
Anything, we need a comment
Anything.
section to be able for the captains to know what's in the gift.
Mm-hmm. Comment section here and add it to the downloaded PDFs.
Yes, thank you.
Got it. Welcome. Yeah. Any other questions regarding this?
Is it possible to backtrack and look at like a potential check transaction from beginning to end?
What do you mean by backtrack? You mean
Like
you add
instead of like I just would like to see what it looks like with if we were entering a check. Like a
Mm.
donation.
So she's asking if you can go through this procedure, but instead of, but with a check. So if we receive a check, how would we manually capture it?
Oh, yeah. So it's gonna be through the same screen, but we need to add here like general donation, so we can only select the general donation. But let's say like receive the check for a sponsorship instead, or like for a gift. But like oh, if you have, you're talking about multiple entries of checks, or just like one check you want to enter and add to the system?
For right now, one is fine, just to look at what it would appear.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so for one, it's gonna go through here, like picking the donor, one that is in the US, or like could be actually anywhere. Let's pick this one. And child just for now, and an actual gift to link it to. And below payment method, so you put check and the identifier here and the check date. The future, and here need the motivation code. I need, let me change this to be an actual gift. Since we're paying for something, change the amount to 100. So campaign is going to be optional eventually. Designation, we won't need it to send the product. And motivation we need to add. And yeah, after you do that, you click next.
And a silly question for that. The identifier would be the check number?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
And this is the actual gift transaction. Oh, it should have filled it in here. Yeah, this is yeah, this small issue here, so it didn't.
So the system generates the identifier, or are we the ones generating the identifier?
No, you're the one who put it here, and we should probably rename it to something more clear. Like this is the check number.
Check number, yeah.
Yeah, and with the check date. So I just follow up with the dev team regarding this bug, because this should be auto-filled. But you can find it, so you'll be able to find it in the gift transaction itself. So you're gonna find the gift transaction with type check. And it will have the identifier and check date. So like you can find it by going to transactions, and we can do here a list view to show you all of the ones with type check.
So, Brahim, just a question. Why does it have the status unpaid?
Sorry? Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had the status unpaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we added check, and we added check, and it's in the future. It should be unpaid for the ACH and credit card payments and EFTs. It will be paid.
Oh, okay. So it's a future date that you put your, okay.
Yeah.
25th is unpaid. So after, if you change it, if it was after the, or today's date, for instance, it will say paid.
Yeah, but, yeah, I'll also double check that. At least like when you pay by credit card, it marks it as paid. So check the future dates also should be unpaid, but check in the past it will be marked as paid.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And check the check dates. Okay, and like to view them, you can go to the actual donor to view the transactions. We can add some of the important things. So we can add the type of the transaction there for you to view. So if you find like anything lacking or any info you wanted to roll up at the top, we can add it in here. Or we can add it in here as well to show you as a type check or no. And as well, like we can create a ton of list views here for you to like filter out the data quickly. And users can also create their own. They can see it only them, or they can allow certain people to see it, or all of the users can see this list. So this could be check transactions. So it's showing all of the transactions, and you just want to add the payment method is check. And this should filter them out. We can also do things like checks that have not been processed yet, or checks with the check date close to today. So we can filter these according to different things, and we can show different values in here. So we can show like who the child is, the check date, check number, all of that stuff is easy to add in here to have a view that is helpful. Yes, Ari.
Could you please cover two more scenarios on checks? One is when a donor wants to remain anonymous.
Mhm.
Two, when a third party donates on behalf of the donor. So for example, in income distribution, somebody gets dividends from their investments and they choose to give through Metro, but it's a third party that distributes their money on their behalf to us. And that's a check transaction.
Got it. Yeah, then in that case, like if you have a ton of them, you can use the new widget. We'll have to import multiple transactions and add the batch and sequence as well. If you want to do it manual, so you can use the manual gift entries, but this is how a transaction record will look like. So it's actually linked to the donor is the anonymous one. And check will be here, plus the check identifier and date. But basically, that's how it's going to look. But if you go to orders, new gift, so in here in the donors, you can also pick anonymous. We're going to have records for them. And I guess even in the old system, you probably had those. Anonymous Switzerland, anonymous Germany. So you're just basically going to assign the transaction to the anonymous donor. And then you're going to find that in the system, there's a transaction linked to the anonymous donor, and it's for, it's a check one, and it has the check number in it. If you want to allocate it to an organization, it's this one, and here you should be able to find the organizations we have in the system. There's just a bug with it. It's not finding the organizations. But basically, you pick the anonymous donor to add.
Sorry, I think for the second piece of Irene's question, she's asking, how would I manually create a gift that was given on behalf of an organization or something like that? Irene, is that correct?
No, when an organization, so for example, a financial management company gives us a check on behalf of a specific major donor.
Yeah, so then, yeah. I think at that point, you'd have to log it under the donors and make a note that this came from whichever organization. Yeah.
Yeah. You can add the notes section, and probably like we can also add here the organization itself to link it to the transaction. So you can put here like this is the donor, and the organization made on behalf of the donor, Or if you go to organization, it's going to be the inverse. So here, this is the organization, and this is the person who made it on behalf of the organization to cover all cases.
Maybe this could be one of the items that we can keep on the before we go live double checks, just to make sure that the receipt flows go well on that, because that's big money transactions. But we can move forward for now. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. So give on behalf of an organization or the universe. Give on behalf of the organization gives, and it's on behalf of the donor. Got it. I got it logged. So again, I'm just going here, creating a gift for the like a special gift here. So just a minute, I'll close the door. There's no meeting going on here. Okay, it's quieter now. So yeah, I went back to the manual gift entry, pick the donor, pick the child. And pick the currency, and it's a physical gift. And here I can put the occasion as well. Could be other. Oh, and in here we have the gift description. So we just need to add this also to the Christmas and the child intro card, thank you card of the cards, and add it to the PDF. So
yeah, a lot of those gifts, they don't necessarily come with anything related to product or child products. They are just either general donations or
good to know.
So they don't necessarily generate any of the further workflows.
Like it could be related to a child, but not necessarily.
Correct. Yeah. Most of the time, most of the scenarios are just either a general donation or.
Yeah. Okay, physical gifts. Most cases. That's general donation, but could be. Okay, and here like 2 toys sent by donor. And like, should the description for the physical gifts be required or no? To know what exactly it includes? Or
No,
just
if it's a check donation that's not related to sponsorship, then no.
Optional special gifts. Description. Okay. And pick the motivation. Is there a special something here? Yeah, by the way, this allows you to look by the code plus the name of it. So I can do CH91 and still find these. Then you pick one that is a bit more relevant. Just for distance sake, I'll pick this one. So here it's unknown. Maybe we should add here like non-mandatory instead. It's going to be clearer. And yeah, amount here is 0. Occasion other. And press next. And you can add multiple special gifts there in the same screen. Now I'm back to the order itself, and this should be the new order for it. Physical gifts from sponsor. Does the thank you card also get bundled with physical gifts if it's a gift to a child?
Yeah, it should, because the gift needs to be delivered to the child. So yeah.
Got it. Okay, so this was created physical gifts from sponsor, thank you card, and should also show up in here in gifts. So I was abusing the other occasion. Let me refresh. And it should probably be the first one, I think. Oh, yeah, one thing we need to add here is the product name, so it's clear instead of you having to click to find out which one it is. So it's not this one. I think we're filtering out these special gifts from here. Do you split gifts and special gifts, or you'd like to see all of them inside the gifts?
I think a split between gifts and special gifts makes sense.
So you said 2 tabs, special.
Yeah, because special gifts will be related to sponsorship and children. Gifts will be like your general donations, all those kind of things.
Yes, that would make life a lot easier, you know, to see things at one glance, what is what.
Yeah, got it. Special gifts and gifts to separate views.
And also
Yeah,
for reporting purposes, special gifts versus gifts, like the $0 value gifts and birthday cards don't need to be showing up in financial reports.
Just the cards and those, or anything that has a 0 amount.
Yep, that's correct.
Got it. Special gifts and cards and all of that stuff that has 0 amount. Needs to be filtered out of reports.
Okay, I have another question.
Yep.
And bear with me because I'm still trying to figure out how to properly formulate it. So firstly, when we are entering the gifts, when we enter the child, is it going to be specific to, is the donor, the option of the child going to be specific to who the donor is sponsoring? Like, are there going to be the list of all the children to select from, or is it just going to be specifically the one child that they are sponsoring?
Yeah, it's gonna be a list of all of the children, just in case there's like an allocation made, or it's like it's a gift to. Yeah,
So if you are not sponsoring a child, but you want to give a gift to that child, we'll still be able to allocate that donation to a different child, even if they're not sponsoring them.
Yeah, from here, yes, like we can change that behavior if you'd like. But we thought like from the back end, you want to have more freedom to do so in special cases. Not sure, like someone gave and he wants the gifts in his wife's name or some edge case. From the websites, they're not allowed. From here, it depends on you.
Just a quick question from my end, Brahim. It's Simone. And I missed part of the training, so I'm sorry if you already went over this. I apologize ahead of time. But if they're manual gift entries with a donor, it would significantly slow the process down if every time somehow the child has to be found. It should automatically only show the should automatically only show that the child names that this particular sponsor is sponsoring,
Mm.
plus allow for the scenario that you least just described.
So only show the ones that the donor is sponsoring, but you mean also allow to pick other children or?
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
So let's say you have the donor, you put the name there, Brian and Rochelle Brown, and then for children, when you click on there, it should automatically just show all the kids that Brian and Rochelle are actually sponsoring.
Mm.
But if Brian and Rochelle would want to give towards a different sponsor child, there should be an option to do that. See now here, whoever puts in Brian, they don't, because it's a large amount of sponsors and a large amount of sponsored children, so no one person in the office would automatically know which is which.
Got it.
Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, it makes a ton of sense. Yeah, I think through this with the team, we could probably do something like a list to pick the children you're sponsoring. Otherwise, you have to find a child from the list of all children. So something to allow for worst cases.
That would be great. Yes.
So
Is it possible to pull the pledge automatically for this sponsor? Like whenever their name is picked, are active pledges linked to them in some kind of drop-down menu? Would that be a solution?
When I pick it, show the pledges.
Yeah, because then we can split this donation into sponsorship or non-sponsorship. The non-sponsorship would allow you to select all the campaigns, general giving, and all of that. And the sponsorship would trigger only the link to their existing children potentially, or a new pledge, and that would be entered manually.
So you want to use it so that like you select the pledge and this payment goes to that pledge, or part of it goes to that pledge, something like that.
Well, potentially, but what would bypass having to search through every single sponsored child, which are thousands, is when a donation type of sponsorship pledge is selected for a specific donor, only the things that this donor is already pledged to for the child and their availability would become available. I may work on formulating it better at a later time, but now for the sake of time, let's move on.
Yeah, I'm thinking of it, and I think like I understood like 60-70% of it. I'm just thinking like almost anything.
Keegan, are you tracking what I'm saying?
Sorry?
Keegan, are you tracking what I'm saying?
Not really. Yeah.
I'll work on formulations. All right, let's move on.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, almost anything is possible. I'm also thinking of the time and how long it's going to take. So a ton of ideas are in my mind. But yeah, if you can formulate that, and then I'll also check it out and see how to do it correctly and how long it's going to take us to do. Okay, I think this takes part of the manual gift entry. One more thing is, like we have the new gift button here. We can place it almost anywhere. Not sure it makes sense most for you to have it. Maybe in the same caseload manager page above or below at some point, just to make it easy to do everything from one place. But yeah, if you want to place it some other place, we can do so very, very quickly. Let's see what else is in the agenda. So general financial PDFs, last year's year-end tax, and monthly receipts. So you can basically go to any account. So by going through any of the tabs, maybe go donor sponsor and find the actual ones by clicking on the blue link. and the name or identifier. Or if you're in gifts, find the sponsor and go to his page, or go through the accounts, or just using the big search icon. Yeah, big search rectangle here, find the actual donor you want to see. And close these additional tabs. Okay, so from here below, I have these buttons to generate year-end tax and the monthly statements for this donor. So you go here, click generate year-end tax. We should rename this label and click generate PDF, and it generates the one for last year. So if I go in here, click open, and let me move some of his transactions to last year just so that they show up in here. So one thing we need to work on here is the currency conversion, showing amounts in the donor default currency. So like if he makes 5 transactions, 4 of them are in euro and 1 in USD, then he'll see the amounts here in euro. It's going to be his default currency. Like right now, it's still stuck on USD, but we have plans to fix that. So if I go here, let me just move this to last year, and it should show up in August. Oh, I need to mark it as unpaid and then paid, just to allow me to change the date. Okay, so in August last year, and let's make it paid. That was the due date. I should actually change this. So the transaction completion date. Enter date as on after the start date of the. Oh, this is linked to a gift commitment and it was already paid, so it's a headache to change. Let me find one that is simpler. Wait just a minute. Okay, sorry, I'm back. So yeah, this one is not linked to any gift commitment, so it will allow me to change the info I have here. Let's just mark it as date. And now I can change the date when it ended. So let's do 2024. September 2024. And I'll just make it paid. And yeah, I just want to add a similar transaction in the same month, just so you aggregation that's happening. So yeah, it was for this account. Let's do another one just to have in the system for last year, September as well. Do on September 17th. actually made on September 16th, paid by credit card. The amount is like 100. Okay, it should allow me to add it now. Okay, 2 payments for last year that are paid. So if I generate the year-end tax for last year, it should include those and have the total for September. I guess I did something wrong here. In current amount, all of it should be here. Sorry if this doesn't work, I'll check with the dev team. It was working in the last demo we did and while testing, so let's see again. Okay, it's working now. I guess it just took a minute. But yeah, so the total amount is 130 for last year. And yeah, we're using the template here and filling out with the donor name, his ID, yeah, the days and the summary of his given for each year. With the total amount showing. Yes, Simon?
Mahim, will there be different templates based on the country that the donor lives in? We have different requirements for each of the countries, you know, to be in compliance with the government that we have to fulfill.
Mm-hmm. I think we only got one template, but if there is more, we can look into them.
Yeah, we can definitely, we have, that should be in the system and it would be based on the country that the donor lives in, just so they can use it for their specific internal revenue service purposes.
So just for talking, speaking to that, yes, we'll have different templates for each website and country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great,
Yeah.
thanks.
Same for the monthly receipts. So the other template we have here, I can show it to you right now quick. So that generates year-end tax. This is generate the monthly statement, or it's basically like any period. So you can pick from the same year, you can pick from June to October and generate PDF. And then open it up. This is the template we have for the monthly receipts, like periodic receipts. Does this one also have different ones for each country, or no?
It depends. Yes, some countries, yes, other countries, no. We have some countries that only require yearly receipts. And then we have some countries that where donors want a monthly one.
Got it. Yeah, per country. Okay, and the parts like working on here is this one to have it show up in a table format that Keegan suggested. That looks good, like child name, all of that. Right now it's only showing in like cluttered and with a comma in between. And the dollar here, like we should have the euro ability to sum up euro amounts and show those in the default donor currency. And the unknown here, like it should switch to a separate payment method. Or like this one should actually be gone. Yeah, Simon?
Yeah, sorry, me again.
Yeah.
One of the things we would love to see is the different, and I don't actually know what you call this, but you know that the currency signs. Let's say, you know, this would be for Malaysian donor, would it be, you know, Malaysian ringgit? If this would be for European, for German donor, would it be the euro sign?
Like you mean like changing the sign or
Yes. For example, here it says total gifts received, and then it has the $ 270. If this is a German donor, will the $ automatically change to the euro sign?
no, for now, no, but yes, that's something we definitely do.
That would be really important.
So Simone, this is an error. This is supposed to show the euro sign because the gifts, the transactions were marked as euro. So Brahim said that they're going to be they're working on having this fixed. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. Sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah, welcome. And also, like, it should be by like the amounts, like the number of transactions he's given and in which currency, like he could give in euro and USD, but he's given more in euro, so the currency should be in euro, or is it based on the countries? So if you're from Europe, it's always going to be euro.
No, you're right. You're right, Brahim. It should be in whatever currency they give. Yes.
Okay, and like one part here that worries me a bit is just like if we have the donation come in to the system in euro, let's say, and we want to show it in USD. So we have the amounts in euro, but then we're using a conversion service to convert it to USD. And then like it may have some decimals that are not super accurate. And this is used for year-end tax and stuff, right? It should be very, very accurate.
Yes, so it should not show the amount in USD. It should really show the amount and the currency that the donor was giving in. And if it was received, if let's say this was, for example, a Singapore person that gave through Stripe and it came to the US account, then it doesn't matter because they're not going to be able to use it for tax purposes anyways, because literally the money was received in the US. It was not, but let's say this was Germany or, or Switzerland, it would need to show the actual amount that was given in the currency that it was given because they can claim it on their taxes.
Yeah, so if he gave, like, let's say both in Singapore dollars and Singapore dollars and US dollars, but most of his givens is using USD, then we're only going to show the USD givens here, and the Singapore dollar given is not going to be shown in the monthly statements and year-end tax receipts.
Yeah, I don't think that's an option, unfortunately. I think it has to be itemized enough so for the donor, we have often people that are confused, exactly for that kind of scenario. And then they're like, but what I gave this amount, why does it show that amount? And so I think the more specific in particular we can be in the receipts, the better. Yeah.
Got it. Yeah. I think more of it and see if there's some kind of solution here. If not, then like show in USD when most of your givens are in USD, and probably add the disclaimer somewhere. These are all of your givens in USD. If you want the other ones, please contact Metro or something to get your other receipts or something like that.
Technically it would work, but it would be very unelegant and it wouldn't look very professional on our end.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll mull it over and think it through if there's something we can do. Okay. Oh, my mouse is acting up. Whoa. Okay, so basically you can generate them for each donor one by one from here. And the donor has these same buttons available for him in his his website. So if he's logged in, he can see those two buttons and do it himself. So yeah, any questions about this piece? I know it still needs some work from our part to get it nailed down. But yeah, if you have any feedback, anything else to add here, feel free to do so. Yeah, here it's up.
Rita, is your mic on?
So sorry, it was not on. This is totally something different. Maybe you have covered it already, but is it okay if I ask still, or?
No, definitely ask anything.
Okay, it is about the donor account. Is there for donor cultivation, is it possible to put in, or is there a place they can put in their birthday for cultivation?
Yeah, there is a birthday here in details.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't see that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure, welcome. And if there's any field like you need to add or a tag, it's super, super easy to do. We can add it anywhere and add it to almost any record.
Okay, so now I see. Okay, there is something. Is there a way for me to find out, okay, in 2 weeks, I cultivate major donors. In 2 weeks, some of our major donors is having a birthday. Is there a way for me to find that out?
Yeah, there are a couple of ways to find that out. So let me show you. So if you put birthday here, say, oh, now here, let's do next week and change this to 1997. So we can add, so we can go to one of the list views here. And I believe we can use relative dates. Oh, why is this not showing? Let me just refresh this page. So we can do it by going to accounts, creating a list view for birthdays coming up, or just doing a quick filter and then removing it to find the ones that you need. So let me try here, birth date. Oh, so then we need to use a report for that. A report will be able to do this. So there's one way to do it then. So we can have a report for birthdays and birthdays coming up. Or, yeah, I think reports will be able to do it. This view, I didn't find that option here. And yeah, I take note of this and I'll show it once we reach the reports phase to show you how we can do that. Reports on upcoming birthdays. Yeah, so I get to that part, Rita, just very soon. Any other questions, guys, related to these? Or we can move on to the reports and dashboards. To the lab sponsor first, and then reports and dashboards. Yes, Ashley.
Quick question. Are the donors going to receive the same IDs that they had on DASCO, the ID numbers that they had on DASCO, or is there going to be new numbers?
So we're gonna load everything you have in DASCO into Salesforce system. So they're gonna receive those, and if it's a new donor, he's gonna have his new identifier.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure, welcome. Yeah, so if there's nothing else, we'll move on to the next part. So the next part is lab sponsors and donors. And yeah, my lucky day, I'm already in a lab sponsor here, but I'll move another one to labs just to show you how that one is done. But this one was labs today. I was just in it, so it's marked as labs. There's the lab sponsor date. And if I go to his pledges, there's actually one that is lapsed. So basically, the lapsed option, so whenever two payments have failed, then our payments processor, in this case, it's Stripe. Later, we're going to add other options. But once the payment is failed, it's going to go and update the transaction. So here we have two. First payment attempt failure reason is going to fill this out, and then second attempt failure reason. And I can organize like later if you'd like. Testing session using Stripe as well to mark one payment has failed, second has failed, and see and move the time to see what happens after 6 months. But yeah, once a payment has failed, first attempt failure reason is going to be here, second attempt failure reason is going to be here, and then Stripe automatically will move the gift commitments to lapsed after a payment has failed 2 times. So then it's going to be lapsed, and as soon as it's lapsed, the donor himself will be marked as lapsed. So the sponsor will be marked as lapsed. We have a similar functionality here that we're not using anything yet, but could be useful. So lapsed donors, if a recurring gift got lapsed or a recurring donation to Metro got lapsed. But right now we only have the sponsor part. So lapsed sponsor date. And it depends on the country that the person is in. So for Brahim here, the country is United States. So if I go to the actual country, I can see the configuration for that country. So for this country, like the payment processor is Stripe, and this is the cancellation grace period. So whenever I have 6 payments that failed, then the then the sponsorship will automatically be canceled. And that will free up the child so that other people can sponsor him. So we can define this based on the country. So we can have it be like almost anything from, I think, 1 month to 12 months, or it can be none. So if it's none, then nothing will be automated for it. And someone from the office admin team or finance team will have to go and manually go to the sponsorship and press the button for cancel to cancel it. So yeah, we'll define this for each country. Let me go and mark another one as labs just for you to see. So Raheem here, September 9th, no sponsorships there. Let me find one with a couple of sponsorships. Maybe this test record. Oh, this is the one I marked lapsed. Let me find a different one. All right, you know what? Let me find it from the case logic. This is better, and it's the normal way to do so. So from the case overview, United States donors and sponsors. These are the ones we marked as active, and this is the total number of pledges they have. So I can try this one. He has 2 pledges. And from here, donor sponsors, I have 2 other tabs inside it. So active donor sponsors or lab sponsors. And in here, we can add other informations if you need to, just to find them out. And there's also a report for lab sponsors for you to view them and view a ton more data for them. So if I'm here, I'll go to pledge. Okay, this one has 2 active sponsorships. So go into this sponsorship for Chris Taylor. I'm gonna mark it as labs. And now if I go back to Raheem test 12, he's marked as lapsed, and he lapsed during this. Where is it? Given date. He lapsed today. So just by marking here, if I go back to the caseload view, he should be added in here, yeah, as a lapsed sponsor. And yeah, just if the payment is no longer lapsed, so the status will change here to become active. And then this person, so he's no longer marked as lapsed. And yeah, he's going to go from here to the active donor sponsors list. So in here. And to show you like the lab sponsor report that we have. So to go to reports, you click on the app launcher again to find anything that you don't see the tab for it here. There's also something else you can do. Yeah, let's do it from here. So app launcher, find the reports. So there's the reports. Just click on it. And by default, it takes you to the recent reports you viewed. You can see reports you created. You can create your own private reports. I'll cover all of this soon, but for now, let's go to folders, United States, and this is the US Lab sponsor report. So by clicking on it, so I can see this report here about both of my lab sponsors. So Raheem and Mike Tyson. Yeah, these are all sponsorships. So Raheem has 2 sponsorships. Mike only has 1. And the person address, number of sponsorships he has. So 2 and 1. Yeah, child country, sponsor child country for each of those. The child ID, child link, so you can click and go see the child that was in this sponsorship. Child age, commitment amount. So this one's for €30. This is a sponsorship for $34. And the given amount to pledge. So for 5 years ago, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then the source date. So this is the first motivation code that is assigned to that account, just to know what was his main contact points with Metro. So if I go, let's say to this one, so I'm again in the accounts profile, and below are his motivation codes. So this is the first one. I can add a second one, and I'll just delete the first one to show you that it got changed. So let's say, is there any event here? I just pick boot camper for now. So boot camper is there, but it's not the first one he has. So in here, it's gonna show USA website. And when was it added to this person? So I'll just go back, delete this. And this will make boot camper the first motivation code assigned to Raheem. So yeah, this shows you the first motivation code assigned to the donor or sponsor. And then last note, it shows you the last note logged for that sponsor and who created it. So if I go here to Raheem, again to the interactions, log an interaction I had with him. So missed call, let's say called, but he didn't answer. Well, probably stop his sponsorship. So then I press save. And yeah, the notes got it added here. And if I go back here and refresh, it should show me that last note I added to him. Called by he didn't answer, will probably stop his sponsorship. Added by me, by Atlas. Yeah, so this is basically how it goes. Any questions regarding these? Any notes? Ashley, I see like you have your hand up. Simonzi, okay.
Ashley, I think you raised your hand first.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna go. Going back to there's a couple of questions regarding the labs and how do we determine what's lapsed. I think we submitted a couple of rules on, when is the sponsor lapsed and what kicks in the process. There will be automated communication connected to this, right? Like automated emails the first time the card gets declined second time.
Yeah, the automatic emails like when I set up so that Stripe sends those card failure. And then like we'll send the donor as well, reminder for each month with his last month given. And at the end, when it's canceled, like we send them a goodbye email.
And one of the things you mentioned that the lapse status is determined by a credit card payment missed. What about those sponsors that don't give by credit card?
Then you go manually and mark it as missed, because you yourself are adding the information here since it's not credit card, so it's check or something else. So then you'll find the sponsorship and mark it, change the status of it manually.
I hear that, but what we would need, because of the volume of manual entries, and it will not be possible for office to facilitate this unless it's really a sponsor that they're familiar with. But let's say you have 3,000 sponsors and they all make theoretically manual payments, and then you have 50 sponsors that forget or don't or whatever. They will not be able to cross-check the other way. It already takes enough time to enter those payments. There will have to be a list. It has to be triggered by whether a payment was made for that pledge, not whether a credit card payment worked or not.
Yeah, so if no payments was added to that person in that month, then it's going to be considered as lapsed. Like last month, he didn't have any payments added to his sponsorship.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and we can do that. One case that worries me, if the team is a bit late to import those payments, and then the donor is going to receive an email for his last month payments, which should be he'll be lapsed in a moment until you load the payments if it takes more.
And I hear what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. I think this is where we as a team have to come together and decide on some business processes that we then can give you the rules on at which point in time would it be kicked towards lapse. Do we wait a month, to make sure that everybody has entered? The teams are always supposed to enter everything manually by the 10th of each month.
Yeah.
So, for example, there would be a date when we say, hey, on the 15th, we're going to run the report. And if Salesforce, and then if it's not showing, then that would be considered a lapsed month. But I think that would need to be, Keegan, I do think we put down some rules somewhere already, or maybe we can get together again as a team and decide on some business processes there.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, I don't know if Keegan is there. But yes, I think we need business processes come together for that solution, 100%.
Yeah, and we could also like to have a report for the sponsorships that are gonna expire next month, for example, and send that to people at the beginning of sponsorships that are gonna lapse during this month, and send it to people so that they log in at the 10th. We send that the first of each month or something like that. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Simone. Ashley, you still have a question, right?
No, I don't ask my question. Thank you.
Nice. Things answer themselves. That's
Well,
great.
your hand is.
Yeah.
But I have one. I'm sorry.
Hey, Carla. Yeah, I didn't see.
Hi. Excuse me. You mentioned earlier, and now I'm gonna have to backtrack to make sure that is right. When you were talking about you can adjust like the automatic missed payment limit for like when Stripe then kind of terminates the payment, the pledge and stuff like that.
Yes.
If it gets to the point, is there like in the back end will we get a notification that Stripe just unpledged this child, or is there a report that you can run, or so we're not missing this, because otherwise we have all the sponsors, they get unpledged and we might not even be aware of it.
And yeah.
Sorry, Brian. Yes, so just to add on to Corolla's question, there is that would we be able to create it like a dashboard, like on our dashboard, all unpledged children for the week or the month or the day, something like that,
Yeah, definitely, like whichever dashboard you want to create or report. And the good combo could also be like reports is there, plus it gets sent when it has some rows in it. Like if it's empty, it's not gonna get sent to you. If it has like more than one that are gonna be canceled this month or next month, whatever you decide, then it will be sent to you by email. So you can have it in the reports in the dashboard, and you can have emails sent to specific departments or specific people if there are actual cancellations coming up.
Great. No, that's good to know. Not that.
Yeah, and we're just gotta do like a reports and dashboard brainstorming session someday, just to gather everything. Yeah, that's possible.
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, anything else regarding this, or should we move on to reports and dashboards?
Sorry, I have one more.
Yeah, sure.
This might be an easy one, and I might just not have seen it. When you ran the report earlier, when we had the last report, and you kind of walked us through like what it shows all, like last time exactly. But do I actually see how long they are lapsed, or is there just like they're all lapsed for the first time? Like how would I see this here? If they're lapsed 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, or?
Oh, got it. So we can add here the lapse dates, and we can also do something to tell you like 3 months or how many months they were lapsed. So we can add
or
that.
How many payments? Perfect. Thank you.
Would you like it to be how many payments or how many months? Payments probably, since it could be quarterly or
month would be better, because you have sponsors that pay monthly, quarterly, biannually.
And this is lapsed. So when he's lapsed, so even like if he has 3 sponsorships, the lapse date is the days when he didn't pay one of the sponsorships.
Yes, that's correct.
Got it. So we have lapse sponsor dates here. We can add it to the list. And yeah, let me know if you have any other questions. Other than that, this is a good segue to go into the reports.
No, I'm good for now. Thanks, though.
Great. Yeah, so you know what? Let me start over and do this change while describing like what we do. So reports and dashboards. So there is this trailhead that I added in the agenda for today in the quick links section. Quick links section is at the very bottom. And this is basically Salesforce documentation on how to do reports and dashboards. And it's something you can run through very quick. So quick video here if you're more into like seeing videos. And this is how to create reports. Go new report, select the account, for example, click start report. Outline, the filters are in here. So like it gives you a great look at it. And last one, like they only have one for the dashboard, just for them to show you like how to add graph here and how to move them in there. And yeah, so let me go back. Yeah, to here, close the other tabs. So if you go to the app launcher and look for reports, you'll be able to see to go to this page and see like recent reports you've seen. You can sort them out by different column, like who created them, who are the people subscribed, so the people who receive this reports in their emails. You can see the reports that you created. You can create private reports that only you can see, and those are going to show up in here. You can create public reports that everyone can see, and or see a list of all reports. But the most useful one that I go to is all folders. So in here you see folder structure of the reports. So there are some like getting started that are by Salesforce, but they don't have much in them. And the ones we created will be in one for each country. So you have United States, Canada for now, and we'll add more here. So I want to join. Oh, release. Okay, so all folders. So I just went to reports, all folders, United States, and we placed these reports here. So US Lab sponsors, all donors in the last 24 hours, and some reports we're using to power up the dashboards. So for each report, you can run it to see the data in it. You can edit it. You can subscribe to it. So subscribe basically like you subscribe to receive it in your email each day, each week, or each month, one specific time. And like here, you pick who should receive it. So we could set it up so that a couple of users receive it, or it could be a group of users receive it too. And like basically the report's going to be run as you, and we can add conditions to them. So for example, don't send me this report if let me see, you get notified that all conditions are met. So record count is not 0. So this basically like won't send me the report unless there are actually some rows in it. So it could be like lapsed sponsorships this month, and I receive that report daily, but it's not going to send me any unless there's actual sponsorships that are going to be lapsed. So you can also go and export the report, and this is to get it in CSV or Excel format. So you can have formatted reports or just details only. And let's go like to US Labs and show you that part. So by clicking on the reports, I can also find all of those options in the drop-down menu here. So subscribe, export, delete, add to dashboard, add to campaign, and we can remove and configure permissions here as to who can edit reports, who can only view them, who can't view them, or who can share them with other people. So here I just do an export, and I want it in Excel format as a formatted report. So yeah, I downloaded it. Let me share my whole screen. Okay, so I just downloaded the formatted report. Let me close some of these. Okay, so the formatted report give you details about which filters were applied and give you this nice table format for all of the rows you had there and when was it generated. But if you just want the simplified version, you can go to export and get it as a CSV. This will only give you the table. So CSV, exports and open file. Let me close the previous one. No, this one. Yeah, so this simply gives you the table and it's useful. You just want to like get the summary of something, or you just want to work on it as a table or export it to load it into a different system. So yeah, you can export from there. You can delete the report, and the reports have a folder structure, and that actually allows us to share folders with different people. So we can like go here to the United States folder, and we click on share, and then pick, do I want to share it to people in a specific role or share it with a specific user? Right now, everyone is admin, so you have access to all. And once you add someone, do I want him to be able to view all of the reports in this folder or edit or manage the sharing and delete them if he wants. So I can go here, and yeah, Keegan has access right now to manage the United States reports. We can also like create public groups. So it's basically a groupment of users. So we can easily do the sharing for them, like USA Labs Donor Report subscribers. That could be a list of specific users from specific departments, and then give them like view access. And then they'll be able to view this folder and all of the reports in it. So yeah, managing the sharing here is quite easy. And now to go to a specific report. So you can click new report to create a new one. And I want to create the one that Rita suggested. So for the birthdays, let me just show you quickly the one that we already have, US Lab sponsors. So by clicking on it and clicking edit, and you'll see this new view here added. So these are the columns that show up in the report. So I can remove or add whatever I'd like. I can remove the account name, and it's going to remove it from here. I can add it back in by looking up the name of that field, so account name, or I can click on this field here to expand it. And from here, just pick whichever field I'd like to add. Drag and drop it at whatever place I want to add it to. So it's in here. It's going to be added in here soon. Okay, so it's in there. And the one we wanted to add before was lab states. So I can go here and add labs sponsor dates. So by default, it's going to be at the very bottom, but I want to drag it over, probably someplace here. Where is it? Lab sponsor dates. So in case it's too slow and it's like you have a ton of records here, and just to refresh and apply your changes takes too long, you can disable updates preview automatically. So this will keep the same view, but once you run or save it, it's going to show you your changes that you made. So here I just want to move lab sponsor date to let's do it next to the account. Oh yeah, just before the shipping streets. Okay, so this lab sponsor date, let's put it in here. And you can click refresh, refresh. You can click run to just preview how it looks, but without saving it. Or you can click save or save and run, which will do both. So here the report was saved. Okay, and it includes lab sponsor date. And you can also do a couple of other things. And yeah, I just don't want to bore you with the whole bunch of stuff, but just very quick. So you can group by certain things, like here I'm grouping by who the donor is. So like you can group by identifier. You can also group them by a column, like let's say I want to group them by lab sponsor dates. And it doesn't look as good. It's because I'm using grouping by columns and identifier both at the same time. Basically, like you can group by columns, group by dates. Let me change this here quick. This. We can group by lab sponsor dates. We can group by lab sponsor dates by month. So these are all of the you have sponsors that got labs in August 2025 and all of the ones that got labs in December 2023. So once you're satisfied with it, you can click save and run, or just save and it's going to be saved. So now I'd like to show you how quickly you can create the reports. Let's have one for birthdays coming up. So I just went back to the report builder, clicked on create new reports. Here you can pick the type of reports you want, so accounts in this case. And an admin can add more types and more like and reports that have multiple sources of data all put into it. But here, let's do just account. And let's show the birthday. Let's show the phone number so we can call this person. Email preference, phone preference. And the type of them. And in here, we can go and say all of the accounts. I want to see all of them. And here is the filter section. So in here, I can say like, show me all of the accounts or just mine that I own, and who were created at specific dates or who had a specific condition. In here, I'll do show me all of them. And I want to see all of the individual accounts instead of the organization accounts. And I should have here type. So all of the ones of type sponsor, not a child, not the site. So these are my applied filters. And yeah, if I go back here. So I can do run to run it without actually saving it to see how it looks like. So this is how it looks like right now. We haven't filled the birthday for a ton of them, so let me do a quick filter. And yeah, basically here we just add a filter for the birthday and say I want to see all of the sponsors that are individuals that have a birthday. And here use your relative value. Yeah, and here you can type a few of the relative values that Salesforce has. So I'll send you this list after. I should have included in the agenda. It's Salesforce relative dates. So you have today, last week, next 30 days, multiple ways to pick them. See, it should be in here. So I can do next week, next in week, so next 2 weeks. And yeah, let's pick this one. You know what, let's do next week. Okay, so this should filter it out for me so that I'll only see the sponsors that have a birthday coming up next week. And not like, I think I already had changed one of them to have the birthday next week, but I'll have to double check that. But anyway, once you have a report, you can click on Save Report and then give it a name like birthdays next week, sponsors with birthdays next week, and pick which folder do I want to place it in. By default, it's private. I can go here, folders, US, and place it in here. Okay, so now my report is saved and I can add people to subscribe to it, to receive it. So whenever there is a birthday for a sponsor coming up next week, I will receive an email at the start of that week or something like that, so that you can easily find it in your inbox, or we can add it to a specific dashboard that you also subscribe to and you receive, or it can just be in the home page in the dashboard that you see. Yeah, so thank you, Rita. I'll look into the birthday here and get it done so you can see it. Just after this call, so not waste everyone's time. Any questions about the reports piece? There's a ton of things that we're capable of creating with reports, and we have like unallocate a budget for it to create them. So yeah, while looking into the system, think of reports you'd like to see, or maybe reports you had in Dasco that are useful, and we can work on adding those. Okay, the last piece is dashboards. So for dashboard, you just go to the app launcher, click on dashboard, and it's exactly the same view as reports, but this time it's just dashboards. So if you go to all folders, again, we create one for each country to group them by United States here. And this is the dashboard we've used for the demo. So I can click on it to open it. And you can refresh the dashboard to see the latest data for all of these. We can set it up so that it automatically refreshes once each day. And you can also subscribe to a dashboard to receive it in your inbox. So you can have multiple people subscribe to this. So you receive it each day at 6 a.m., beginning of the day, to see what's happening. And everything here, so every widget you see on the dashboard is powered up by iReports behind it. That's why we have a dashboard reports folder created. So all of these are actual reports grouped in a certain way to show you the view that you want to see. So just on reports, you can click edit, you can add the widget, and it could be a text value or just an image you want to add, like Metro's brand image here, or you add a table. So add in a table, you just pick one of the reports you have, and you pick how do you want to display the data that's in it. So there's multiple ways to view the data, like funnel, bar, a simple number that is clear to see, a table, and there are a couple of options here to modify a bit, but most of the modifications of it comes from the report itself. And in here, you can place those widgets. You can make them bigger or smaller. Once you're done, you just press save, and that saves the reports. And whenever you're in a report or dashboard that you like and you want to modify something without changing it for the other people, you can just go to the drop down next to save and click save as, and this will create a new dashboard or reports for you. So save as demo dashboard 2. You can place it in the private folder until you're ready to share it with everyone and then share it. So I can place it in private dashboards, select folder, and create a new one. Yeah, so now I can do whatever I like to this dashboard without changing it for everyone, just to test and see how it works. And we can place reports and dashboards almost everywhere. So we can place them in the home page. We can place them inside the accounts page or a transaction page or motivation code page, depending on what you'd like to see. So yeah, that's it for dashboards. Any questions regarding this part? Or all good? Okay, seems like all of it is good. Okay, yeah, I ran through my list. So if you have any questions regarding this or some previous parts, I'd love to hear them. And also if you have any feedback regarding the training for the international department or anything big we should pay attention to, yeah, I'd love to hear anything you have on mind.
Thanks for him.
Okay. Looks like we had a lot of good questions, but everybody got them answered. Or
Nice.
maybe spend just over 2 hours. I know you pushed through a lot, so we appreciate it.
That's okay.
From our side, I think we just need to work through the
Yeah,
Uh,
thank you. And
And
I
then-
also have the list for all of the things we discussed during yesterday and today. So I'll just group them tomorrow and send them to you guys by email. So all of the bugs we've noticed or changes you wanted to do, just to have that in mind. If you have any lists of notes or things we should do, yeah, it'd be great if you can share that with us eventually. And yeah.
So I think just from this session, Ibrahim, we just need to go through the manual gifting, just to try and get it a bit more user friendly and a bit more efficient. And then and then just maybe working, brainstorming some ideas. I just send you a Slack on how we can work with donors who have two currencies or something like that for receipts and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, definitely. For the gifts, probably split it into 3. It's going to be more clear, like new gift, new special gift, new card. To make it.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. We'll wrap it up.
Fantastic. Thank you, Brahim. Big round of applause for you and pushing through it all. Thank you,
Thank you,
everybody
guys.
else for jumping on and joining us and sticking with it. We're looking forward. This looks a lot better than we've had ever. So we're looking forward to that. I know we got a couple things to work out still, but we'll get at those things that are especially essential. So have a good evening, Brahim. The rest of y'all have a good afternoon. We'll see each other soon again.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a great afternoon. It's been great seeing you this like yesterday and today. Hopefully I'll see you more again.
All right. Take
Okay.
care.
Goodbye.
Bye.